What's happening, Trevor? Today I'm showing you how you can make fuck you money in your 20s, and I'm telling you this from a place of authority because I'm doing it right now myself. I'm 22 years old and we've hit over 50k months. I'm currently in the south of France in a super expensive apartment, smoking far too many cigars, just bought my first Rolex. Life is pretty good, I can't complain, and what's better, I'm surrounded by the best people in the world, the guys in my own network, but things weren't always like this. You can see here, 20-year-old me. I was a fighting fanatic. Every ounce of everything I had just went into fighting. Every hour of the day, that's what I'd be thinking about. If it wasn't for tits, I was thinking about fighting. And you can see there, I was pretty dialed in, I was shredded. My dreams and aspirations was just to become a professional fighter, and I was willing to do anything in order to get that. But fast forward 2 years, I'm now an entrepreneur, I'm now building multiple businesses, I'm looking into future investments into property to expand my portfolio, and I'm trying my hardest to make fuck you money. I'm trying my hardest to build generational wealth for my family. And that's quite important. We need a solid why in order to make fuck you money, because if not, you just get a 10, 20k a month, and then that's enough. That's enough to do whatever you want. That's enough to conduct all your selfish desires. But when you've got a why and when you've got something that you actually want to work for, then it makes it a lot easier and it allows you to go that next step further. Like, literally speaking, 10, 20k a month, that's more than enough money to fund me, travel around the world, eat good food, do whatever I want. But is that enough money to fund my entire family to do that? No, it's not. So that's what I use. That's something that I use to keep me going forward. There's a quote I really like. It's every man has two lives, and the second one starts when he realizes he only has one. And somewhere between these two photos is when I kind of figured out that I've only got that one life. And without getting too deep, it was the death of my grandma. You know, I've just finished one of my kickboxing fights. I won the Amateur European World Championship, boxing and kickboxing, and I was training for another one, and she died. I ended up losing that fight. I ripped my shoulder really badly, and I thought I was never going to fight again. And I was in that moment of injury and grief that I then thought to myself, I'm going to die one day. What have I done which I'm proud of? Yeah, I was a half-decent kickboxer, but was that what I wanted my life to amount to? I seen all the sacrifices that people put in my gym in order to become a high-level pro. For me, I wasn't willing to sacrifice that. We're going deeper than this. Everyone has a past. Everyone has something that they're not proud of. Before 20-year-old Will, I was a little degenerate loser. I was in the northeast of England, smoking weed every single day, going out partying, doing drugs. I was just a loser. Because of those activities I conducted, I became very depressed and I ended up on antidepressants. In other words, you could call me gay. And since then, I've just been on a crazy self-development journey around the world, swearing to myself never to let this happen again. And I guess you're very similar to me. We are a mouse. And in some way, shape or form, we're being chased by a cat. And for me, that cat was degen me. It was selfish me. It was the version of me that smoked weed and done drugs. That was the version of me that I'm running away from. And the mouse is us now. We're running away from this version of us. But at some point, the cat stops chasing you. At some point, you become 2 to 3 years into your journey, and you're 2 to 3 years of rigorous self-development, business growth, and you're no longer running away from the cat. You're no longer running away from that old version of yourself. It's almost too far gone for you to even fathom. You can't even put yourself in the shoes of that person anymore. So that's why it's really important to have some strong cheese. And the cheese has got to be strong enough for you to continue running towards just as fast as you were running when that cat was chasing you. Now you might be thinking, Will, what the fuck's the cheese? The cheese is what I mentioned at the start. It's your why. Why are you running? And it's not because the cat's chasing you anymore. It's for the future. It's for your ambition. For me, it's my family. For me, I've got a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. We host trips all around the world. We form genuine brotherhoods and we help each other scale our businesses to 6 figures a month. So for me, it's pain points, it's family, it's legacy. It's building something that people are proud to be a part of. And that cheese is even stronger than this version of me, of the cat. I'm now running faster than I was when the cat was chasing me. All because my cheese is so strong. The potency of that smell is enough for me to run through a wall. And that's how you should feel about your why, about your goals and your ambitions. There's no point setting goals if you don't actually want to choose them. And if we're going back to the title, if you want to make fuck you money in your 20s, most people get rich when they're like 40. Most people drive Porsches when they're 40 or 50 or 60, get Rolexes when they're 40, 50, 60, but that's not as cool as doing it as in your 20s. We want to be making fuck you money in our 20s. And the way we do that is by identifying who we are now, where we are now, and the places that we're going. And make sure you're running away from the cat. If the cat's already gone, which it probably is for a lot of you guys who are already making 10, 20, 50K months, then make sure the cheese that you're running towards is strong enough. Now, I was never really good at anything. If you watched some of my other videos, you'll kind of get the gist of where I'm going here. But I was never talented. And I just understood that in order to be better at something, I just had to work harder than them. I adopted this philosophy first when I was in kickboxing, when I realized that I could beat people. I just needed to train for longer and harder than they did. Over a duration of time, my skill set would surpass theirs. And I used the exact same knowledge, the exact same principles in business. I seen these guys making 10K per month. I was like, well, this guy's a fucking idiot. If he can do it, of course I can do it. I didn't have a chip on my shoulder, but I put one there. I forced myself to carry that confidence around with me so I would actually make things happen. You want to be an animal. You want to work so hard that people look at you and think, this guy's fucking crazy. You want to have subtle mindset edges. You want to do things that might not make sense to other people, but to you it does. But to you, it actually gets you out of bed in the morning. It makes you work hard. It makes you do the things that you don't want to do. It mitigates you from procrastinating. You want to have these subtle mindset edges. I can go in more depth about this. Leave a message in the comment section and get into more detail. And then you want to go the extra mile. The extra mile has no traffic, boys. You already know this. I also want to touch on environment. Environment is very, very close to you. You definitely know who this fella is. Mr. Jordan Belfort, in the form of, what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio? Yeah, that's the one. In that film, they said, pay close attention to the people who don't clap when you win. You've probably got a group of friends from your hometown who you grew up with, who you went to school with, who you went to university with, who are your boys, but for some reason, they're not really proud of your accomplishments. For some reason, they don't want to see you win. It probably hurts you, like it hurt me. You probably can't understand why, but if I was to give you the honest truth, it's because everyone's a mirror, and everyone's a mirror of their own potential. I'm a mirror of what you can become if you put the hard work in. You know, my friends are a mirror of me, of what I can become if I stay consistent, if I stay disciplined, if I make things happen. Some people are happy for you regardless. Just like the guys in my community, they're genuinely happy to see each other win and they encourage each other to win. But it's when the people don't clap, it's when the people don't celebrate your achievements, it's when people don't even pay attention, people don't even acknowledge your wins. They're the sort of people that you want to cut out of your life. Because that's what we call energy vampires. They're preying on your downfall, they're not happy for your wins. It's a dangerous cycle to be in. So with that in mind, you want to find yourself a genuine group of friends. People who share the same mission, people with the same vision, people who align with your goals and the trajectory of your life and the places that you're going to. Why? It's because you're just going to be a lot more aligned. Your day-to-day interactions, the things that you do for fun, the conversations that go below surface level are all in sync. You know, you're not running against the waves. Having friendships and brotherhoods and meeting up with people should be streamlined. It should be easy. It shouldn't be hard work. And that's something to really pay attention to. And I'm lucky. I'm very, very fortunate. You know, I've got over 100 of these guys in my network around me who I speak to on a daily basis who genuinely want me to succeed, just like I'll genuinely want them to succeed. And when you've got those people around you in your network, in your inner circle, they're going to go above and beyond to actually see you become successful and accomplish great things. And that's one thing that I probably took for granted to begin with. Then lastly, I just want to touch on investments. You need to invest in your health. You know, as a young man making money in his 20s, there's no point being rich if you're not jacked. Like, let's be real. Like, we see all these millionaires and billionaires with the yachts, they're about 70 years old with a 22-year-old wife. He's fat as fuck, smoking a Cuban cigar, and he looks like a little wart. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be a guy with longevity. You want to be a guy who's fit and healthy and active and capable for as long as he possibly can in his life. You want to expand your lifetime. If you're not investing in your health as a man, if you're not actively trying to become the best version of yourself physically, you're not trying to push those limits that you've got, you're not training some sort of martial arts, you're not lifting heavy weights, you're not looking after yourself internally with your food and your cardio, you're leaving so much money on the table. Just by being an active man, you're going to gain yourself so much more respect. It's 2025. If you want to make fucking money in your 20s, you need to invest in your health. Then we've got wealth. You need to collect assets that pay you dividends. You need to collect assets that make you more money whilst you sleep. You need to invest into networks where this information is accessible. You need to make investments into yourself that's going to make you more money. You need to invest into mentorships. You need to invest into software that's going to streamline your business and systems and structures. You need to invest into people. Because if you don't invest into people, how can you expect those people are going to invest into you? And lastly, we've got relationships. You want to invest into the relationships that's actually going to take you to where you want to be. This could be a relationship with your family, making sure you invest in the right amount of time and effort and congruency with that relationship, with that family member, with your mother, with your sister. And you also want to invest financially. You want to get yourself around the right people. You want to invest in networking groups where you can gain access to people who are going to help you achieve your goals, who are going to align with your mission, and going to do everything possible to see you win. Lads, that's how you make fuck you money in your 20s. If you made it this far, well done for actually watching. You don't have an attention span of a goldfish. I'm proud of you, bro. If you're an entrepreneur and you enjoyed this video, leave me a sub, book in a call using the link below. I would love to have a chat. I will see you in the next one. Ciao.